potentially a lifeline. True. No elimination, still a chance to make it work. But Gen G are who they have to overcome, and really here for Wolves in terms of new kids on the block, making a dream run. We're really going to tap into sort of the preparation coming into this. Almost a benefit, actually, to come to Split and see the same composition for Gen G.
Because this puzzle has been solved. We've seen it before, the desk going through it. Mimi highlighting that, the cycling of the utility was a profound problem in the game up against Fnatic previously. And now we ask the question, can Wolves find that same sort of look here? Already though, Texture, who has been probably one of the highlight players thus far, off to a belting start.
Certainly slow things down here in the pistol, as well as this utility in mid. Wolves probably happy to sit behind this, wait for anything further if Gen G do show anything. So the Viper util goes back up, now stacked up. Reinforcements here in mid.
These deadlocks look good, Mike. I've liked seeing it here. Foxy9 looking solid on this, and we've expected this sort of pace from Wolves, right? Slow, cautious, methodical, very clear-cut, very precise in approach. But the timing from Foxy9 will hinder this. It's going to slow them down. Paranoia's going to come through, but a quick slip towards the site means safety is secured. Texture still unaffected. They've given up a lot of space, though, and there's not that many rotations. Mike, where's the support here? Texture left on his island, still going to get 2 so far. Looking to make it a 3rd. He's done it! 13 seconds! This guy is just out of his mind.
10 seconds left.
Looking for more! Come on! Almost an ace off the rip, and look at the time. Spring, a little too late to this one. Looking more like summer and autumn at this point. It's done for Gen G. Round 1.
Can't ask for much more from Texture to kick things off here. Certainly discussing an MVP level performance already so far here in Toronto. Only really the reload that prevents the ace from coming through here. Just a lack of pressure, really. I would call it lack of coordination, but the swings here you can see in the replay. Happy to sit back, dig his heels in, and deliver here for Gen G. As well, just coming back to that discussion on the deadlock. Talk about how, you don't really want to say all in on this first wave of utility with Teo, but certainly deadlock, a tool to slow things down beyond that. Not necessarily removing the risk, I guess, of that lack of utility. Wolves kicking off slowly here.
And if we're talking bigger picture, look, Gen G's pistols have been really solid. I mean, statistically, it's been the case.
Well, so the numbers show that for sure.
Yeah, so this, I don't want to say an expected result, but you kind of know that Gen G is going to get a good start here. For Wolves, they need to build back in now, though. This round, obviously just with the classics, not going to find too much. Obviously, the extremity dealt with by Texture and Caron. I mean, not going to leave it all to Texture. He's a name in the mix here. Obviously, Gen G, it's a bit of a highlight reel. Hard to avoid many of them, and Caron's still going farming. And now you've just got the main man himself, the one that's won kind of hearts and minds out here. Siva Baby has been outstanding for this squad, but slow starts here, and Gen G clean as anything.
I think as well, Wolves probably need to find a way to deal with this utility in mid. Gen G's ability to really close the shutter. Texture able to farm up, but that's probably pretty close to his ultimate already, just 1 away. See early learnings here to find from a round like this. How Wolves choose to navigate beyond that. There needs to be obviously pressure across the map. They want to weaken Foxy9's ability in terms of locking it down. 2-0 the start here, first buy round here for Wolves. Spread evenly in this default.
But I like this deeper push towards B, even that audio cue, kind of planting their flag in this map very early on. I like this from Gen G. Not afraid to make moves, and even on towards that A side as well, pushing up a little bit deeper. You saw only in that second round, Texture willing to take that fight.
Presence shown on both sides of the map for Gen G, so actually Trip dealt with early in B main, so force Let's go on a little deeper here with the Guardian.
Toxins going up.
Late use of the drone as well to re-clear, actually.
Missile deployed.
Outside ace. So Gen G with a pretty good idea now of where the focal point is. Munchkin going to be first on the chopping block, potentially.
There's a lot of pressure on middle, but Foxy9 is up to the test. Takes away Juicy, and that's a big player gone, right? That's a lot of that springboard into the site now lost. This is starting to worry me. When we're looking at the time, 35 seconds, they haven't had a huge success anywhere. They didn't get the steps towards middle. They're not getting towards B. Gen G looking so refined in holding this.
Yeah, they're bait and switch in mid on the back of the Prowler. Executed to perfection. Wolves almost left scratching their heads now at the buy round. Probably thing is, if you want to hold on to these rifles here, you only see on the mini-map Spike not committed anywhere. Not even going to look for a kill here, so a big win for Gen G with the bonus.
Going up.
Apply further pressure here onto Wolves. Like I said, really, I mean, the big positive would be even to go even in this trade for mid in this first buy round for them. Whether or not Gen G have got any further layers here to apply. They would be able to get something back. Two players that did struggle financially, but be a guardian between them. Perfect timing here for Cowan as well to pick up that kill.
This hasn't felt difficult yet.
No, I mean, coming into this, we were talking about what is very kind of hard-hitting, simple Valorant.
Looking through middle and those extremities quite passively didn't really reward them much. And now they're going to go for a direct sight approach. That's going to, if anything, now reward the operator.
And actually a much deeper setup here from Foxy9 in terms of the util, so
Going up.
see whether or not actually
Poison
Wolves
orb emitting.
will find something to exploit here towards A. Still two members for Gen G, Munchkin and Karen. Will be contact found here.
Let's see what they do with this, though. Do they... Okay, so right now Gen G are re-clearing middle as well.
I was going to say, right on the back of this, there's a re-clearance through mid. No confirmation just yet, but...
Look how deep they're holding this default, though, right? Because Texture's temptation will be to maybe fact-find further. Or do you assume they're all there? Texture, you don't, no. Ooh, he's a lucky boy, 5 HP, and he's still breathing. But it shows that there's still a default in play, right? That's pretty indicative that there's pressure elsewhere. Maybe there's still presence middle, but there's still more going on here. This presence in ramp has drawn the rotation now.
I was going to say, if Texture hadn't taken damage, actually, they could almost, with this trip up towards B Heaven, send an extra body across, but is the awareness there? Gen G, obviously, with where this trap placement is, have given up mid. Got to be aware of vents now.
Yeah, there is a chance that vent player could be a problem, but it's already being watched. And with Texture on that deep line, they're safe. Caron, how are you hitting that? But finally, Wolves breaking on the site. There's an extra body here. They don't know about it. Gen G simply having numbers spring, still fighting forward. Wolves in the 2v2, rotation on the way. But it's Caron, left, right, takes down one. Looks for the follow-up. Caron is on it! 4 kills, and Gen G reading Wolves like a book.
You can even see here the general idea of numbers of where Wolves are. A couple of players unconsidered, but this second swing through the smoke, absolute perfection from Heaven. Karen in particular stands his ground here, finds 4 on the round, the second 4K for Gen G. Unfortunately, another situation when it comes down to just 2, not able to sync up, get a unified swing onto site here. Fantastic play from Gen G. Wolves now back down to all but 1 sheriffs across the board.
These 1-1-3 approaches, they're tough. Those late retakings of space coming out from the likes of Texture or that almost awareness of the, okay, we've left vents open, that's fine. We'll kind of catch that from Heaven. Again, Gen G very aware of the board here. I need to see if Wolves can be disruptive. I want to see them try and get in their faces now. Caron, this feels like rinse and repeat, right? But there's no flying juicy towards the site.
Yeah, on the back of actually the paranoia investor there, there's not really going to be much behind that. So a big win out for Gen G on a lesser purchase.
I mean, the one
Foxy9
benefit...
1 HP, by the way.
I guess there is that small benefit in the fact that they are figuring out that maybe they can draw that utility out of Ash, and it's it's incredibly hard then for Gen G to re-clear some of these spaces. But this isn't the round to make the most of it. This might be another moment for the man here. 5 and 1, make it 6. Count them up as you go. Juicy's gone down, and he doesn't look under pressure. But, oh my goodness! Oh my god! Texture! This is unthinkable! He's a one-man army, and Wolves down to 2 now. Still a chance, but 20 seconds. Someone's got to go above and beyond for their side if they want a chance in this one. Spike's knocked down. And this slow creeping death with the judge is coming in from Munchkin. You got 10 seconds. They have to make their move. Munchkin now knows he's playing nearby. That judge is lethal.
Spike planted.
As Spring got to try and clutch up. It ain't happening. Gen G. Mike, these guys look so controlled.
Yeah, so drilled today. We got Texture and Karen delivering on opposite sides of the map here. Not much for Wolves to do. A lack of inventory in this round. I mean, he's just happy to stand his ground here. Actually, a miracle almost that he shut down what he was. A well-placed headshot by Spring, but not many positives for Wolves to build upon here. Back into a bye round. Really, now you're asking something to step up the pace a little bit. They've got to find some sort of victory in the early round in terms of util drawn out or a trade.
Yeah.
Somewhere across the map, because Gen G are just winning everything.
And it feels like Gen G have got all the right kind of solutions so far. They know their strengths and weaknesses. Maybe learning from that game up against Fnatic, but a big opportunity here for Wolves to try and put together all of the pieces they've learned thus far. But as it stands, the big man himself, Texture, is over here. This guy, again, absolutely miraculous performance. Gen G re-clearing towards ramp. And we know the pace coming out from Wolves is slow, but they are still here, and now here comes the fight. Already Texture can't support here, denied by the cross. Already Foxy9 just holding that corner, and it feels like these kills are untradeable. How many times we've seen Juicy go down and not have support? Spring is there to take away Ash, but there's still time being purchased.
They're so hesitant to swing onto that. That window of opportunity passing them by almost. Luckily now, will equalize. It's level pegging now with a 4v4, but 45 seconds, you're looking for another win for Wolves, really, but it doesn't come. Texture finds one. Munchkin now with a judge shut down. Lysor potentially opening up this round.
But the spikes here towards A, if their temptation is to rotate through towards B, which isn't a bad shout, they still need to get this spike through vents, through middle, over towards B, and you can see that maybe Texture's going to try and mirror that. If it goes silent towards A, that inkling is it's going to be this B hit. But look who's waiting here, Karen. No slats by any means. Hello. No. What? Oh, dear. Oh dear, we need another timeout. We need to get this one right because that should never have happened. Caron just given the gifts of the kingdom. Look at this guy, just the keys left out on the table. There's the support from Texture. 8 seconds, and it's confidence from Texture. He's playing with him, he's toying with him, and maybe you should respect him. But look at the HP, it's long.
Miss.
And actually, a gift, a chance. Oh. There was a second it became possible, Mike, but this slate remains clean. Gen G unfazed so far.
The Lysor TP leads towards maybe being a little rattled here, the nerves getting to Wolves. Obviously, we're talking about elimination, but the stakes much higher versus Gen G here. Almost a jump scare for Lysor. Again, the difference being, look how quickly Texture's happy to swing onto this to try and bail Karen out. Second timeout pulled here before round 7. Like I said, is feeling a little rattled.
Feels like they've met one of the giants. Now, they've taken down some big teams on the way, but Gen G, you're looking at these guys, honestly, throughout Swiss, they were one of the best.
Yeah, especially with the form we're talking about.
Yep. But
Certainly.
a timeout, Mike. Maybe it'll help.
Well, but again, it's now a concern to have to pull the trigger on that in round 7. Let's talk about both timeouts being done in one half.
Again.
Just who's behind that?
Where's the utility? Where's the layering?
What's the value of this peak?
And that's hard for Juicy as well. Like, I'm not expecting him to be able to just like clean swing middle and be able to, do what he needs to. It needs everything to set it up in motion, but it's just not there. And Texture, not enough this time. Gets taken down by Spring.
Able to actually deny info off that trap. This Texture caught completely off guard here. Lysor considering a bold move, actually.
Oh no, but
what? Munchkin caught off guard as well.
Munchkin caught sleeping at the wheel. Lysor wants this one. He's powering forward for Wolves. 2 big kills. And maybe given a chance here. Hope reignited down at Ash and Karen. And Karen's been really dangerous though. Ash could be in trouble here.
Spike planted.
Missile deployed.
Missile going, double swing. Nice from Wolves, much better. Karen falls, there we go. Finally breaking the curse.
Thank God for that. A little more proactive, but Gen G caught sleeping on 3 separate occasions in this round. credit where it's due to Wolves for dissecting this B site hold, but that started with Juicy falling for free in mid. A bold maneuver from Lysor. That's reflected in Munchkin's reaction to the situation, or lack thereof.
One enemy remaining.
The Wolves able to drag this one across the line.
He's up.
You can see on the other side of the stage still smiles.
It's one of those, it felt like overconfidence, right? Some of those peaks, good to see it being punished. This could maybe curb some of that, I guess, confidence coming
It's also
through.
like the player act. When Juicy falls, you can see it's almost like, oh God, not again.
Here we go, yep. Oh dear, right. Texture's been just about everywhere in this map, it feels like. Set up here by the drone. This actually could work here. Yep, that does give him the angle now to...
He's gonna take the space back though.
Look, he's been doing well at these deeper lines too. He's, you know, we saw it over towards that B main early on. Oh my God, they're coming this way. Texture has no idea how many people are about to come out of those sewers. Do they clear it with the Prowler? I think that might be in hand, but the timing.
The temptation to almost sit on that rope there and just hold it.
This Prowler's good though. It's really good. Nice work there. Have to invest it early though. This is, you know, look how deep that hatch is. Just clear Texture away from this, and they're not even heading this way. Thinking that's enough of a fake, but it's not. There's still 3 players for Gen G on this side of the map. They're trying to get through heaven, but look who's waiting. Foxy9 buys some time. Take a seat. They have to try and flee the site here. Gen G still holding numbers, still looking unfazed. 35 seconds. The time's going to start running low. Foxy9!
Spike down,
kills.
B.
How many times are Gen G going to be doing this? One after the other. We've seen Karen do it. We've seen Texture. Now Foxy9 puts his name up in lights. As Just Spring has to take the walk. It's 15 seconds. The spike is in Narnia. Another one back here for Gen G.
10 seconds left.
You can see the amount of stall invested to this setup. We'll get a chance to look at it once again, but Wolves figure out where the operator is in this round, and just the obstacle course laid out by Gen G. So many things for Wolves to deal with.
Yeah, you can stand up for that one. Yeah, that one's good. That's solid. I mean, this does feel like we've got kind of the 2 fronts of Gen G working here. Individually, yeah, they're hitting like a truck, right? This again, beautiful control, but look at the spacing.
I mean, yeah, that's the first time that actually you see
Someone trying to swing
in a
in.
position, stacked up, ready to try and deal with somebody. It's got to be frustrating.
Well, you feel like you're hitting a literal brick wall.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, okay, cool, we're going to try and trade in, get that spacing right up. Okay.
In a game of numbers, you still want to put yourself in those positions. So,
Trying to speed up on this, but Munchkin joined by Ash with just a shot in the dark, and it works. Going to take down Texture. That's the first step here. Can they get this building from this point, though? An untraded kill back. That's perfect. Ash, though, filling the gap towards middle. And if they take their eyes off the ball for a moment, if Foxy9 pulls their attention here, and they're so confident. Look at the swing. They're getting punished on this confidence. Karen is still holding the site. No. Okay, the paranoid didn't land.
well, actually, it comes down to a 2v2, but a lot of time to work with here. Pit actually will expire over towards A, so now Munchkin in a pretty rough spot. Potential here for Wolves to pinch him.
Lovely, lovely. You tip. What?
That's bold. That is very bold to leave somebody behind them now. Karen, a lot of ground to cover to regroup here, but looking as if they might actually stack up towards main. Looking for a safe plant from Wolves.
Yep.
And a very comfortable post plant here. Plenty of time to set it up. They don't necessarily know, but the pit will enable that as well.
Look at the pace though. Look at the pace coming in. Munchkin wants in on this fast. Both ults pretty much sent towards CT, but Munchkin's already controlling the site. The other side of this.
Last
Oh,
player
I'm not going to
standing.
get that one done. A little too far. But Karen now closing in as well. Both of them now kind of on the other side of the pillar. What can he do here? A couple of smokes, but that's about it. Timing is everything. Spring first to fall. So does the pit, and now Karen's got a real chance at this. See if Fat Baby's gotta clutch up here for a chance here. The nerves now starting to show here. What are you gonna do? No way, no way. Nicely handled. Took the tour, but he gets the job done. Second round for Wolves.
Everyone will fall, but a second on the board nonetheless. Not necessarily a sigh of relief in terms of the finances, but certainly in terms of this scoreline. Another example here where the trades come through quick enough. Like I said, comes down to a 2v2, but Wolves able to stabilize a little bit.
That damn smile. 7-2. Come on, can they recover this? This feels like there's still something here, right? Maybe a bit of that confidence starting to building, maybe a bit of that back in yourself. Maybe Wolves aren't done yet. They've kept the buy humble. Look at Munchkin. Look at Ash. Bulldog, Stingers. They've given themselves, they've carved out a little bit of room here for Wolves. Gonna have the ult ready for Juicy, one away from YU.
Bring them down.
Couple of options now.
To slow down the early rounds, much like the start of Split. 4 over towards B main here. Munchkin and Karen tasked with controlling this.
Ooh, Karen had to give away the game. These horns have been really nice. Genuinely really nice. The ult. Juicy, what happened? I don't understand what happened there. I hope we catch it on a replay, but oh god, no.
Do I want to know?
I'm actually left backwards. Oh, not again. 49 swings in, gets 2, and Ash is there. What's happened there to Wolves, Mike?
Well, the showstopper's gone somewhere. Certainly not the intended placement, I'd hope.
I'm watching for this replay. I just don't understand how it happened.
Karen dealt with here. I mean, that's rough.
Okay.
I mean, down to 1 HP because of decay taking effect.
And this has been a really hard game for him, 0 and 10. Like these sort of moments weigh heavy. They weigh really heavy on a duelist player who's used to be able to take in that space, being
He's looked
explosive.
fantastic here as
yes. And to have a downturn in performance like this feels really harsh. 8-2. Can he pick himself back up? Big question here. And that judge could be lethal in the middle. Munchkin.
We can see on the X-ray.
Brave boy. Oh dear.
Look to regroup back towards sewers. Munchkin will give up the space temporarily, but tucks into Mail now. Texture will be foaming at the mouth here. Oh, but actually, swing and a miss on the first, but Wolves not able to springboard on the back of that and look to overwhelm the operator. Obviously with an heal, it's tough to really pin him down after that first shot, regardless if he hits or not. But 50 seconds now. Still Ash here able to slow down any progress towards A site. And even further now, the utility causing lots of problems for Wolves.
God, wide open Texture might be on for one here. Here they come, that's the first.
30 seconds left.
Foxy9 gets the second. Foxy9 is just cruising through this game. Sadly, the purchase obviously in this round was far from perfect for Wolves. Trying to make it work with what they had, just Sheriffs, maybe a little bit of hope. But Texture still just controlling the site, making it difficult here. He's feeling that pressure, getting closer. 10 seconds, they're gonna work for a block. The spike gets dropped.
Spike
See if that
down
BB
A.
goes down, and now it's all too easy for Texture. Good Lord, can anyone stop him?
Texture again delivering for Genji. Foxy9 as well. Two crucial kills for him to kind of keep that pressure away from Texture on site with the operator. Staring down the barrel, at least a purchase here in round 12 for Wolves.
Let's go.
But potentially looking at the best scenario being a 9-3.
Not an impossible score if they get that third, but you've got to add into the equation Genji good on the pistol.
Certainly not feeling good about that one, but...
No, but Wolves need to keep some hope.
Yeah, that would definitely be a positive, all things considered. So starting, what, 6-0 in this half. Both timeouts used. A long road back ahead of them in the second half.
I want to try and clear ramp control again. We've seen that kind of different tempo from Texture, aggressive, now sitting very, very passive.
We're almost now playing with the idea of where is the operator, right?
Yep. And they're making it hard.
Yeah, testing this default. Now they know, Juicy again, another first death for him.
Just feels sacrificial at this point, but there's no benefit for it. Spring trying to slip ahead here. It's actually done really well. Completely unexpected. Spring finds a bit of timing. Munchkin now a little bit worried. He's got pressure. Great work from Wolves, making some space on this B site. could potentially get a plant here as well. You do have mid being controlled by YU. This is good. Plants in play.
30 seconds
and
left.
player advantage.
Actually, make that an even further advantage now. Just a 1v4 for Ash. Revealed. Not even getting that first. Lysol will shut it down. A 9-3 half here for Gen G. You could argue a slight recovery towards the end for Wolves, but like I said, a tall order here in the second half.
Seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Pistol rounds.
And also when you can take into consideration converting the bonus and then 3 rounds behind that
Oh, yeah.
in the first half, you've got to beg that Wolves able to find success here if there's any hope of recovering split.
Gotta go.
Texture. Just making it harder for him.
6th man for Wolves right now, slowing down that progress towards sight.
But again, it's an early tester. And
Well,
they actually make it out pretty, I was going to say unscathed, but
Well,
49 did catch a lot of damage.
He did. Drawn an extra body, but still mid firmly in control of Wolves. And it's almost actually the timing there was actually perfect on the minimap if you see when Spring decided to head back over towards B.
Oh, this is going to be hard. It's Juicy on this side of the map too.
Yeah.
Right, this is a time for him to, if he gets a good start here, that could just bring him back.
Oh,
But
blind,
YU,
actually, yeah.
Lovely, and that's so indicative. Finding texture there feels like there's got to be more, right? There's got to be more players behind this. See Spring slowly coming back over as well. Gen G trying to work in the dark almost.
But down to 30 seconds now, you'd almost hope that even though Texture falls there,
30 seconds left.
you'd want to see Gen G take advantage of that.
And Juicy still able to play into this, and the cross is being watched. That's fantastic from Wolves. A 2v3 though. Numbers still looking good for Wolves here. Denied the springboard straight through heaven, but still, Plant's gonna be in for Gen G. Prowler goes through close, doesn't find too much. It's Paranoia, if it's well placed, could be perfect. And maybe a trade out here. Yeah, it is. Lysol gonna send him back. Foxy9 wanted to get involved. Lysol takes him down. Maybe a chance here to build this game back. Karen can't do it all! Wolves giving themselves exactly what they needed.
First tick in the box here to try and mount this comeback is the pistol round for Wolves. Like I said, well navigated initially here. Well, the fact we saw that on the screen as I said that, but Gen G able to get back into a position, but you almost expect, even though Texture falls kind of blind through the wall, as soon as Wolves see that in the kill feed, the fact that it's Texture, they know to try and get ahead of this hit. And
They need that. You can see it.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at the difference in them already.
One of the few examples where actually, even though it's a 1-for-1, a 2-for-2 as well, Juicy and YU able to kind of stop that from developing into any further threat.
Texture's got armor and a stinger as well. He's given away, it's here. Quick Paranoia and a quick pace. They want to try and pressure this problem early, straight up towards heaven.
Yeah, not looking phased.
Oh, they're committing. Texture's down. Oh, a Lysol, brilliant hold from him.
Spike
No
down,
support
B.
there though. Could maybe make the most of this. See if that BB's in a really good position though. Yeah, lovely catch, easy. Now he's kind of left in a bit of trouble here. Karen gonna pick up the stinger. Wait, Munchkin just brought out the classic on Juicy. It's a 2v2. We're still at a minute. This has been fast and furious. The Plant gonna put the time on Gen G's side. And Munchkin, careful, these corners contain problems. Spring trying to pick up the pieces. Sprays, and he can't throw fast enough. Spring lands it, and Wolves stay in this.
Gen G looking to get a little fruity here, catch Wolves off guard. Almost did, to be honest with you. I saw, again, you can't ask for much more when you go for commitment there to the stinger, but
God, it was this that played nervous. That 2v2 at the end of my, oh my days.
there's also the fact that maybe doesn't actually swing against the Bulldog. It's a little awkward there to commit to that peek down into hell.
Yep.
But that could have been a disaster. The fact that he kind of waited a little deeper on rafters, but second on the board regardless here for Wolves. Again, almost looking
This is a nice spot.
beaten, battered and bruised here in terms of the purchase.
Let's go.
We're still alive.
No.
But this scoreline can't stop being brought back, right? You give Gen G a window, they'll walk it. Juicy, brilliant. Brilliant. The confidence being quelled now. Munchkin taking a solo endeavor over towards A and gets punished.
1 and 12 in the first half. Certainly
He's here now.
happy to stand his ground here
Poison's off.
in the second half. And actually a very active clearance towards mid
that.
here.
There.
Take a risk
Starting
here.
to smoke.
I have the spike.
This is fabulous timing. This could free up the additional player to hit the rotate. Depends on Ash. I mean, still, full kit of util could clear this. Timing then becomes everything. Still about a minute to play with here.
Waits for the util to drop and actually then sends the drone through. And
One
I guess,
suppressed.
confirmation of 2 players. YU now will be called upon.
A lot of pressure on him here. TP taken. They're already through. This is going to be a plant. Unless... Why are you trying to spray in here, hoping maybe catching someone trying to get up towards that heaven side? But this is still a bonus for Wolves. But of course, that scoreline is such a heavy weighing factor. The plant's now in for Gen G.
Juicy down to 5 HP. Does have the regen, but still not really going to keep him in a comfortable position here if he does decide to commit.
But if the util goes right, Mike, they've got Pain Shell, they've got Haunts, they've got Paranoias. They need to disrupt the back line one. And that's how you do it if you're Gen G. It's back-to-back damage. Gen G making it look almost too easy. Lysor can't even make it through CT. There's so much utility in his way. Gen G suddenly stop the tracks.
And that's, he will keep 4 alive here. So much cleaner in their victory in the second half, sorry. Again, the purchase not quite there for Wolves. You have to come back in now, and ultimately it's going to burn up pretty much everything in the bank, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, cool. Don't need to see him.
I mean, what do you do? Again, see kills come through like that, and it's really rough for Wolves and frustrating as well.
Got to keep their heads up, though. That was a bonus round, right? If you're looking at it traditionally, that's not the worst thing in the world to lose out on. This, though, cannot go the same way.
No,
Then it becomes 11.
And nothing in the bank.
Yeah.
Juicy, at least for, other than the disaster in the first half, building towards the showstopper. Not going to get it in this round, but a chance maybe to build towards it for the next if the purchase is lacking. Gen G firmly in control of mid this time. Maybe want to actually dip their toes to see what was going on early on in the previous round.
This kind of rolls back to that discussion on the desk as well. There's none of that real cyclable utility, and Juicy dominating over towards A again.
Yeah, Munchkin once again. Maybe showing a lack of respect, but
this could be huge. See if that BB, if he's read this right, if they've got this right, he's in trouble though. They're coming. Oh, what a belting shot. He's still been taken, but he takes one down with him from the grave near on. And now Lysor watching that cross. This is a good position. Commits, catches, punishes. Second, Lysor, outstanding. He's done his job here. The rest of the team now in support. Karen has no opportunity to play in from here.
30 seconds
1v4
left.
Spike over towards Hell. No chance of him having a say in this round, and you touched on that from the desk as well. Almost feels like, yes, the concern being there's no second wave almost. I think Wolves may be reading into that perfectly in this scenario. But Gen G had to almost commit behind
10
that.
seconds left.
And I do want to see when Gen G decide on a timeout, if they feel like they need it, right? Because so far, I feel like Wolves have, I don't say a grip on this half. They've had
Certainly
a
a
start.
course
They've got
correction here.
Yes, they've got a very good read so far. We're seeing them approach this perfectly. We've seen Juicy winning out his fights over towards A. How much more is he going to keep doing that?
Do Gen G now decide to maybe try and feed into that a little bit? Just in the nick of time there to find Foxy 9.
It's adjustment from Lysor I really like. The fact he just dips down, catches the cross, knows that pressure's coming from heaven. He takes the gamble that's not going to come through main at the time. I like that. Starting to see a bit more decisive, confident plays. You're not leaving Munchkin out there on his own again, are you?
Well, don't expect a peak to win this time around.
Oh, pace. Okay, pace. Name of the game. At least to look to kind of imply pace.
You see actually almost anticipating somebody slipping ahead of that utility spring. Not spammed out though. Gen G very curious about this mid-hold once more.
You're looking at those salvos have now been burnt by Ash. Still has the drone, but once that's gone, you've got to be really committing that where you need it, right? It can't just be used lackadaisically at this point. Again, I like this from Wolves. Good control towards middle here. And the time's starting to be burnt.
Question mark on both sides, to be honest with you. Ash now clearing through with the drone.
I'd like them to bring an extra body back towards B, though, because it feels like this is the right read from Gen G.
Paranoia. Potential here to send it through. Actually, the re-clearance here to be made perfectly timed.
Really, really nice. The Paranoia just going to skim past, doesn't quite catch it, but they're in trouble. They're under pressure. Cross gets made this time. Spring going to fall. And now you're going to see Texture trying to take towards the side. Karen's managed to find Lysor. See Bad Baby spinning around. Got to do damage. Still holding on. Buying time. A 3v2. And look at Texture's HP. It's low, but the plants coming in. The paint shell gets thrown through. Denies that quick springboard in. And now let's look at the post plant. Where do they decide to hold?
Cage triggered.
One backside, two towards pillar. YU needs a bit of impact off this. Doesn't get what he wants, but Juicy slowly stepping forward. Nice from YU. Crying out Ash from the corner. But a complimentary post plant now. Texture spotted. YU misses, and Karen finds Juicy. YU, this is a difficult situation. And Texture wins. Is that YU will not relent? He wants this, but he can't have it. Karen stands his ground, and Gen G step forward again.
Rough turn of events here, because I think the paint shell maybe bouncing off the wrong wall here from Juicy, because should have all but sealed the deal on a kill here on the plant. I see Fabi B stands his ground for as long as you could hope for in this situation.
One enemy.
That's the fact that YU even corrects on that one. It's Karen, safe pair of hands, still standing for Gen G. Will deliver the 11th.
And now this is the round that if you're looking at
What's
Juicy,
even-
you're hoping he's
yeah,
not going over
yeah.
their peak. But you can see where they're approaching. That's the ult now online. A bit of a different look coming out from Gen G.
Now, whether or not they're going to try and actually react on the back of this trip in mid, to wait for that re-clearance from Wolves and know that there's potentially one or two bodies invested over there.
This is a really nice approach from Gen G. I like what they're doing here. And it's going to have to pick up the pace a bit now that they've broken this. But they've been given the red carpet rollout, right? YU was good last round, but this is asking a lot. Great. Isolated fight on towards Karen. Ash gets a second. Oh, Spring suddenly appears out of nowhere.
Spikes up on rafters.
Oh, that could be done for. Foxy9 and Ash. How are they going to get back to it? Ramp's guarded, it's controlled. You've got Spring waiting here. Bucky in, and he gets the shin, but that's not enough. Foxy9 powers forward, Juicy and Lysor holding off for dear life.
Gen G are a little quicker to get to site here, but YU finding two is an absolute miracle here. Texture looking to break the crosshair placement.
Spike down A.
But actually, it's Spring to actually pick up the backside of this execution. Like I said, Spike falling on rafters, a disaster for Gen G. And finally, we'll force the timeout here. 11 toying with the idea of a quicker all-in piece here with pistols.
And then 1-1-3, maybe looking to try and catch or punish any of those information plays down middle or over towards B main, but we haven't really seen Wolves having to go to that yet, really. At least not early. Again, good reactive play off the back of the utility investment. And this is quick, though, from Ash. Already the drone going to come through. That's going to instantaneously spot the player up towards vents, that being Spring. Foxy9's got to be a bit careful there. Yeah, does manage to back away towards sewers, but gives away position. Now, there's a lot of additional support here.
YU very lucky not to get caught there on the readjustment.
Cam got a lot of info, though. That's a lot of players now noted. Surprised we don't see an additional body, but Fat Baby doesn't seem to be fussed. Doesn't seem to be upset about it. He holds the ground well, readjusts up towards heaven. Still has full kit here, keep in mind.
Catch them.
Extra trying to find something, but Wolves not really giving anything away just yet. Rightfully so against this purchase. So 40 seconds now, and Gen G will re-explore mid.
It's still being shouldered by Juicy, who's got his ult. If it's panic stations, right, he can Best that. Still got one over towards site as well. There's the player noted. Spring can't do much to deny this. Going to get a good chip on the cross, and there's Juicy now being rewarded. That's probably going to be a one, but it's done. Juicy doing well. Good control, good confidence builders here. He needs this. And Gen.G not finding steps forward. Faltering almost on the way. Looking to thread the needle and find those timings. Punishing maybe rotations and support towards that A side, but it's not to be. And out texture, you're damn good. But I think this might be a little out of your means here. Wolves are back in business. A flawless round, Mike. This could be the key steps to this game now, actually being back on.
Back in on the purchase here for Gen.G, so towards what they've discussed here. Said the Snakebite just catching. Was the paint shell to good use as well. Gets the reset, actually.
Remaining.
Slow down, maybe separate the remaining members of Gen.G. Yeah, certainly looking towards the value of that timeout now. So that gap all but closed. The hard work's already done in terms of the comeback.
Look at the switch up as well from Wolves. You've got, what, 3 players playing middle. You've got the switch up of the Cypher Util 2 over towards that B site, leaving just one. That's going to be what, Lysor over towards A. So a really big read into maybe how Gen.G want to approach this.
I think Wolves almost anticipating something off this drone early or Ash's utility.
Oh my god, are they just going for a shootout in middle? Oh, this is so bold. Ridiculous, and it works! Wolves igniting their confidence after a disastrous first half. Gen.G, they're going to be on the ropes.
Going to be kicking themselves because they've been allowed to sit behind these smokes time and time again, then re-explore themselves. It's been Spring tucked back into vents, and this time around, the grand reveal, heartbreak for Gen.G. Left to hold on to these 2 rifles and what feels like an eternity left on the clock.
And this scoreline, Mike, on the half, what was it, 9-3? It felt like I don't want to say impossible, it's just improbable, right? You talk about percentage chance. Now, even after the first couple of rounds, you're probably not that worried yet,
well,
right?
I hate to say it, but it was a 9-3 half versus Fnatic as well.
Oh, no.
Here on Split.
Bloody hell. That went, what, OT? Fnatic got
Feels
across
like
the line.
A bitter dream repeating itself here, potentially.
Yeah, this suddenly does feel like we've got a game. Like, the scoreline, as I said, suddenly becomes such a different-looking beast. You're now held on 11, right? You haven't been able to break through that. You've been kind of
I think actually where Gen.G, wasn't it like 11-7 or something? Where then
I'm like, oh. And Wolves are looking more and more confident. It's not just the fact that the scoreline is getting closer, but Wolves look good doing it.
Yeah, catching it there. Like I said, this is so heads up from Wolves, reading the situation, but it's on the back of, I don't want to say a gamble, but I want to say guess to what Gen.G are doing early on here. It's only really been the drone that's been shown. There's no set piece towards mid that Gen.G have displayed. Here with the Stingers.
Look at the ults though.
Yeah, looking towards a pace change here, and Lysor going to have his hands full if Gen.G fully commit here off rip.
And it looks like a jump spot in middle reveals nothing, so I'm waiting to see how much Lysor can do. This is so much for him. I don't know how much he can even live in this situation. He's going to stick on site though, going to try and play towards pillar and hope the support comes in through heaven, and it is. Slowly but surely. Ult going to be invested coming out from Zufat BB, but it's still going to be Lysor.
They have to find him.
Lysor is so slippery about this! Threading the needle! So perfectly, and he's still alive. 15 HP, still breathing, finally goes down. Munchkin giving them a bit of life here. Down to him and Karen to make this one work. It ain't happening. Karen now has to back away. What more is there to be done? Look where the spike is. Wolves, with just one player basically on that side of the map, held that down.
Another situation, 45 on the clock. Karen has to hold on to this rifle.
Prize
I
possession.
mean, what are Gen.G doing there?
They look like they're smacking into a brick wall. They don't know.
They're
what
able
they're doing.
to deny all the sight lines into sight. Again, I didn't actually track Foxy9's util, but I've been using that to stop the peak coming out from heaven, to isolate a sight player. Pick goes up towards screen. Lysor able to just exist for way too long.
These are frustrating rounds as well. If you're Gen.G, right, you are great at this. You're not very clinical about it. Thanks, observers, for the switch. You're normally very clinical about these site takes. You know your protocol list very well.
10 seconds left.
They are not getting that right now. They are making some misses here, which is surprising to me.
We talked about Wolves being rattled in the first half. Now, seeing something very similar of Gen G here in the second.
Cage
One away now. Look at that scoreline, 11-10. Wolves are at the door now. How is Lysor allowed to live that long? As you said.
Oh, wow, well, Juicy finding this kill as well. Certainly doesn't make things better, but unfortunately, Munchkin in round 22.
There we go.
Actually going to put
Like
YU
it. Oh my god.
into a spot. Actually,
Look at the minimap.
they might even play into this. He's also got a one-way set up ahead of this.
The only thing that can really reveal it is what? Going to be the drone? And Ash is using that middle. They won't be able to clear this. This is still going to be a very uncomfortable position. So Ash pressuring towards Heaven early.
He's not going to get, and there's no way. He's going to get played in here perfectly.
He keeps his cool and he delivers Lysor again in unison. The dream is very much alive for Wolves.
And just like that, another round is over for Gen G.
Look at the time. 1 minute 13. The outcome is determined here.
Karen's still holding onto this same rifle for what, 4 rounds now.
Back to spawn we go. Again, this composition falling short. The drone invested towards middle. Nothing else to reveal that. And YU, great call from Wolves to do this.
This is exactly the recipe of a sort of setup that would cause problems for this composition. If the drone's not well invested, they've got to put a body on to find out where Wolves are playing.
They've done their homework today, haven't they, Wolves? Figuring it out. They had recent tape. They looked into it. They found ways to make it hurt. And these 2 final players for Gen G, I mean, you got to imagine the comms can't be feeling good right now. It's got to be tense as hell. You just had your timeouts burnt. It is all down to that IGL, the boys on the stage itself. And they have watched this game slip away. They were at the door. Now they're inside the building, Mike. It's 11-11.
How the tables have turned as well. Ash and Munchkin having a similar struggle that Juicy did in the first half. Unable to really have a say, have any input, to be honest with you. As Wolves now will tie things up. 11-11 here on Split.
Oh my God, as if they could take the lead in almost the final hour, right? In the final round near on. Now we're down to the real lower end of the purchase. That was the start and end of the round. It felt like, as said, this was beautifully handled. Lysor working in brilliant unison with him as well. Not just leaving him out on his own. It was perfect.
I mean, you can see on the replay as well, just walking into an absolute blender. Gen G can't really do anything, but because they're so invested, the casualty's too great to recover.
Have they learned their lesson? How do they approach it now? Try and deny maybe late space being explored on towards B main with the util going in, but Gen G, a test of their mettle here. Wolves' confidence will be sky high. Can they quell it? Can they break their hearts in the final moments? Wolves need to react correctly. Ooh, this is scary, Mike.
It's all been scary. We're living a nightmare right now for Gen G. Unable to really get themselves over the first hurdles of some of these rounds. It's just a predacious approach once again towards this mid-hold, which has suited Wolves down to a T. We've seen them once just clean sweep behind this smoke.
Got these ults still. Got so much to bank on, but they're going back for this B split, this 3-2. 3 players from Wolves over on this side.
At least this time Texas is not going to be sliding into the trip.
Stall. Spring going to slow it down. Time now becoming a factor.
30 seconds
the tension, it's literally palpable here. Here comes the hit. Do they survive this? Texture goes in, gets the job done. Spring holds the line, takes down Foxy 9. Spring in the backline! Takes down Texture. It's on Munchkin and Caron with 10 seconds really to play with. And look where the spike is, Mike.
10 seconds
it's
left.
up in heaven. 8 seconds. The time has passed the by. The unthinkable is happening. Wolves taking the lead in the final hour.
Just the gift that keeps on giving.
The crowd around their seat with him.
And they clean up the round. Nothing for Gen G to take away from round 23.
Ults were burnt as well. They've got nothing left to bank on.
It's just fantastic to see Wolves step up to the plate once more.
How many heroes does this team have? Spring there with those two up in heaven felt like it was a gift. Catching them on the way down, unreal stuff.
Fade looking like he's born again in the coaching booth.
Hold on, it could still be OT. They have not got across the line yet. Genji with one chance to just try and keep up in this Wolves, snatching away that 12th though.
Genji just looks so shook right now
They
from how this second half has panned out. YU once more firmly in control of B site. Cam will spot out one player, not necessarily painting a clear picture, but Prowler sent down mid. So Wolves still aware of the potential here, and the drone again, almost now becoming Genji's downfall in terms of telling Wolves what their intentions are. Haven't really seen it employed as misdirection too often.
No charges.
At least this time favourable in terms of numbers here. Only 2 members of Wolves. So in fact, maybe has to respect this and... Oh no!
How's he? He's dead and buried. Texture looking to do it all himself. He has to. Spring can't save him this time. That B side now looking vulnerable.
Left.
Can he hold on to this? YU's been good. This is a lot of pressure. Good paranoia. He takes the space off the back, and now here they go. Lights off. YU! Oh, back to back!
They're doing
Still
it!
holding on! Munchkin and Karen once again left with 10 seconds, and not much more, as this is a dream come true!
My God!
Defenders win.
What a turnaround, Lauren! They're kind of set, rehearsed, well drilled in some of these things, so certainly a spanner in the works, but if Map 1's anything to go by, Wolves can ride that wave. You've got to feel good about them coming into Sunset, even though it is a question mark for them. But it's a question mark for Genji.
Yes, it certainly is. And if we are just tuning in, you missed a belting Map 1, but
Yeah, where were you?
Yeah, honestly, Genji on the attack now, and of course Wolves on the defending side. I like this early claim of real estate towards B main coming out, and look how far they're willing to push this too.
Yeah, Juicy actually backfilling this after that initial showing of pressure. Now certainly left wondering where Genji have set up.
Toxin screen down.
So they might even actually consider a walk through top mid.
And I like the reaction from Wolves though, kind of pushing YU up towards that kind of top side of elbow. You also have CUFAT BB doing the same thing from the B side. But it does seem like this late pressure, but again,
Juicy's continuing, yeah.
This should be able to allow for players like YU to keep a bit of control on this.
And I'm surprised to not actually see CUFAT BB
There it
rotating just yet, but the paranoia will catch, slow things down further, and allow Wolves to set up.
30
Yeah.
seconds left.
Juicy, this could be the start of the end if he gets this right. If everything
Set up for a recon.
goes
Oh,
right.
Ash has
for
turned!
Ash.
He's turned!
Read it so well.
Blocking movement.
And now the crunch on the site for 15 seconds. It's late in the day. If one of these things goes wrong, one of these players lands a shot, it could have gone sideways. It doesn't. Genji
10
control
seconds
and
left.
Genji control
seconds
and
left.
poise. Back to business. Wolves left wanting here. CUFAT BB can do very little from this. A 1v5, barely a touch of damage even achieved. This is exactly what Genji would have wanted. Controlled in approach, reading maybe these flanks are going to be coming in. This pressure.
Oh! Texture shooting out the side of his head, almost.
What the hell was that, Texture? All right, yeah. A little bit more of that. But if we look at kind of the moving pieces of that, I liked how Wolves played around it. But again, this.
Yeah, just spidey sense and tingling.
Welcome to live events.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is also, I don't want to say a negative impact, but you've got Genji who have experience in this. They're going to know to be able to feel out that tempo. Oh, Brennan and Josh are here early. Good to see them
Setting up
turning
for
up.
game 2.
Yep, getting ready, getting their prep done. But again, this is something you're going to start seeing. This experience does come into these moments. Now, as it stands, though, Texture straight into this one. See if that big... Wow. okay, all right, Karen, fair enough. You get one of those.
But this is the start you want to see from
Yes.
Genji on this map, looking confident.
Decisive.
Because Wolves refuse to kneel in map 1. Genji have to re-establish themselves now.
Right here.
Genji, this is nice. It is so decisive. Yeah, this is no holding back. I feel like there was a big chat after that last map.
Yeah.
You even saw it in the coach interview, right? The conversation of, right, we just need to get back to this, right? Focus, be confident, be on point in what they're doing, get some good leadership going here. And they need that, but one half apparently means nothing. Wolves will happily take it the distance, but for now, Gen G, clean, concise, perfect.
And I guess as well, what you want to see is kind of Ash and Munchkin get themselves back online, because first half of the split, you can kind of write it off. Team's doing well, all good, but with the mistakes, we didn't even get a ping through, by the way. I thought there was maybe a ping, but
I was looking for the
yeah,
assist,
I was like, oh, it's not there.
Mm.
But yeah, you certainly want to see Ash and Munchkin come online here early on Sunset.
You need him to be the emotional leader as well when you're looking at Texture too. Keep those spirits high, keep them in that right mindset. It can shake you to your core, those sort of losses, but this is a great team when you look at Gen G. One of the highest pedigrees there is. Now let's see how they approach this. Their bonus in the first buy for Wolves. And a very different beginning from Gen G.
Texture up here pretty quickly as well. Just at the 1:30 mark, so able to establish himself in mid now. Juicy and Lysor also holding down that side, but again, these Guardians doing work for Gen G.
There they are, they're shooting back now. Those jump spots not looking so safe. Juicy trying to be bold about it, be brave about it, but he can't get out of there. Texture. Oh, he's gonna hear those steps for sure. Won't have the easiest way forward, but Lysor
pulled away the trip.
Setting up his own downfall at that point. And Gen G, once again, this is looking like they've had a mean old talking to.
Yeah, the whip certainly has been cracked.
Perfect.
Texture will fall a consolation here for Wolves. Well, Gen G going to give away a couple more here. We're trying to charge this down. Do have the funds to support it. Obviously, this will be a conversion of the bonus. Karen shows his hand. Getting a little weird, but Munchkin to clean up. Two rifles still in hand here for Gen G, so finances continuing to build here early on.
That's really nice. That was a really nice shot, and just seeing it pop now, a really early timeout on Wolves.
Yeah, was it round 3 on split that we saw?
It was early.
The second was by round 7, but I think the first one might have been after the bonus conversion.
No pressure on him yet, though. This is still early days, but again...
To build upon, but a Shiko here in round 4. We were close a couple of times on map 1, but a frenzy here and there to mess things up.
Yep.
Look at you, Foxy9. I won't forget.
Scanning ahead.
Now, again, this isn't the round where you want to see too much going wrong for Gen G. You want to see structure again. Hello. Yeah, Foxy9 is just farming. Texture is there with him. This isn't the round that we expect to see too much from.
I can't fault Wolves for kind of showing themselves as willing to still fight for this space outside A. It's not necessarily a disaster here to take 2 casualties, but certainly a fact finder for Wolves to
Cutting through.
maybe even just act as a deterrent here, still in the buy rounds, but Gen G have just been winning out time and time again in that position.
Yeah, this is great, though, from Gen G. If we're talking bigger picture as well, this kind of steadies the ship after a very rough first map for them. And it just keeps them feeling concise about everything, feeling in control about stuff. A good beginning here. And as I said, confidence builders. You got to look at that last half of map 1. It's enough to shake you to your core. So for them, this is very, very good to reignite some of that confidence. Pressure towards Lysor.
Careful now.
Not going to be seeing probably anything go too wild here.
Lysor desperate to try and get something behind that one way.
Texture creeping closer as well. Taking control of back pillar. Swing for the smoke handle. It is just methodical, Mike. There's not much going wrong here. Gen G making up for the errors of map 1.
Flawless round 4 conversion here. Almost repeating, what was it, 6-0, maybe?
It was.
A big gap at the start of split, and looking like a repeat here on Sunset, potentially. Obviously, Wolves going to come back in with a purchase now, getting close to that first ult cycle here. Juicy, Sue, Fat BB, the ones closest here, just one away from the Sova, the Euro Ultimate. Why are you not too far away himself, but still some work to do. Texture actually caught with a stray bullet here. slowed down initially.
Yeah, quick check of the TP too. So they kind of get to clear a fair amount of this early. And they do start their rotation towards this B site. They felt that pressure from the very word go. Lysor didn't manage to find too much impact from this position back pillar, but...
And actually burnt both of the cages already, so...
This is a nice kind of check off the list. If you're Gen G, you'll be happy with that.
Foxy9 does actually get his ultimate online with the orb here. Just cutting sound behind this, leaving Wolves guessing a little bit. Like I said, actually removing that safety net almost with the cages, but the smokes will probably reveal Gen G's intentions now.
My rules.
Looking to try and tag somebody on the back of the drone here. Lysor actually ahead of the paranoia.
Yeah, I'm amazed he managed to catch that, but Lysor does get nabbed in the end, and it's Juicy going down, so the site pretty much under control. Karen going to try and control this, get that smoke back in towards Market, make sure there's no threats from there, and a really good site take from Gen G.
A body to the good as well. Man advantage here. 3v4 for Wolves. Currently still locked out.
Didn't get to clear the corner that Foxy9's playing in as well. This is really, really tough to get back in. Wolves going to try and make something, but Karen's still holding towards that smoke. Why are you going to find Foxy9? Spring going to find Karen. Hold on. Wait. How? How the hell did Wolves just walk into this site like it was nothing?
Strolled back in.
How?
Disrespecting the smoke a little bit, and this felt so comfortable for Gen G.
They had a great site take, good uses of the ults.
How'd that first kill come through?
Oh,
I mean, this was just ahead of the execute, but...
Individual fights against Gen G like this in a retake feels... Yeah.
Yeah, don't be like that.
What's the plan? Gen G, okay, that's going to kind of take the wind out of the sails a little bit.
Yeah, and it's not like Gen G to really show a lack of respect to a team like this. It's usually, you know, wrapped up, tied up with a little bow on top in terms of these post plants.
Okay, back to what was working though. These A-takes have been good, but there are 3 players here. Texture going to give away some of the game by at least kind of highlighting, yeah, that ult's coming in. Hunter's Fury now layered in on top to try and really add that stress towards Gen G. Texture's going to find Spring though. YU, good trade, but back and forth we go. Gen G trying to trailblaze their way in. Brawling out towards A, they've won it. The plant next on the cards. This is a 2v4. This should be safe. There shouldn't be problems.
Portal closed.
But that's a way to start it. A lazy check on the top. Oh my God!
Not again.
A 1v2's doable. Juicy gonna try and make a big play on this one, but good positions from Gen G. Left side crossfire made from Ash there. Gonna be rewarded. And Wolves tried to get again in their faces under the skin, but Gen G in control.
Just before that, Wolves, you could see just almost the panic, the confusion as this hit comes through. Was pacey from Gen G, back of Texture, but the Hunter's Fury just causing some real issues in terms of, you know, tucking themselves into sight, forced out into the open.
Again, the scaling from Gen G was so nice though, right? Like the trading there coming out from Foxy9, good spacing between the first pick from Texture. It felt like they were in such good positions just to, as said, methodically take down every swing that was coming out from Wolves.
Juicy revealed here, trying to make his way out into mid. Texture once more tasked with making progress, but playing a little deeper here. You can see actually the smoke almost begging Wolves to sit inside it. You see Spring and YU happy to do so for the time being. It's a bit of a question mark created towards, I guess, a backstab on B site. Lysor obviously a couple of checks here and now once the smokes deplete. It'll be fairly telling that nobody's progressed through. But again, that's going to put CU, Fat BB and YU in a pretty tricky position here with 3 members of Gen G now making progress towards them.
And starting to see some of that versatility from Gen G and some of their comfort in this map, it feels like, right? Able to work this map really well, cause these uncomfortable rotations and the extra body being put towards that B site. You know, now we've got a bit of a lurk almost, or maybe a bit of a position for Foxy9. This is all very, very nicely done. Respect being given to an extent from Wolves sitting a bit deeper towards that CT side, not willing to fight out just yet. Trying to stall off the util. Viper's pick gonna go in, and again, it is step by step. near on mechanical at this point. 12 seconds, yes, it's late, but faith
10 seconds
in their
left.
scaling capability. Why you? What is going on here? Oh, it's worked! He takes away Ash! But this was in a round with Sheriff, so not much more. I don't know if this was an intended approach, but Gen G still hold all of the cards here. A mistake made and a punish to be had. Gen G making sure they know.
Even here, there's a chance to potentially deny the plant, but it certainly doesn't feel comfortable on the way back in. Wolves, unfortunately, not finding any sort of safety in terms of playing these up-close positions on A site. I think leaning in towards maybe adopting some sort of retake approach here, although even being on the desk touched on this was where Genji really stretched their legs previously. So certainly doesn't feel like a positive to have to rely on that, but already 6-1 the scoreline. Looking for something from Wolves to get them back on track, and then a very proactive clearance through mid.
But I like this. You've kind of already set it out, right? The win cons, if they get into the post-plant Gen G, it gets quite strong. It gets very hard to handle with that deadlock in play. So get proactive. Be willing to take a risk. Easier said than done, though, as that side gets under scrutiny already. Karen going to take towards that backside pillar. Yes, we still know Lysor is here, but he's got problems galore. Players everywhere, but he makes it look simple. Takes away one, Spring going to find Fox E9, but the site's still theirs. Juicy going to try and get all that info he can here. Can he pressure this one well enough? Here come the next layers towards this one. Gen G trying to stabilize. Munchkin, Ash in unison doing well. A 2v2 though, it's not out of the woods yet. Ash has to clutch up here. Attack on the spike. Oh, he can't correct! Juicy holds his nerve. Wolves out of their seat as Gen G now feeling that pressure.
A second on the board and something to believe in now in this first half. Potential to try and recover. I was almost a little concerned there that Wolves didn't follow through on that mid-exploration. We're almost hoping to wrap behind this execute.
Last player standing.
Gen G navigate their way in fairly comfortably. I mean, able to cut sight lines, kind of mitigate this risk of the one-way of this site hold. It's another situation where they can't quite stick the landing on a post-plant on B.
Cutting through.
But this time they've got to note it. Maybe there was some aggression somewhere, information to be had. That retake felt too good.
Did Gen G know about that?
I don't
Wolves
know
can
yet.
sit back and maybe make that the ace up their sleeve for the remainder of the first half. Not many rounds to play with, but
3 players this time towards A, though, for Wolves as Gen G start their build-up again. We've been very complimentary on this, but this time playing a little bit more aggressive on towards this elbow side. Nice. Actually, you can already see that Sufat did back away, but there's that swing coming out from Foxy 9, but a good trade this time. The additional body mic making a world of difference.
Deploying drone.
Drone now to come through for Ash. 3v4 left through, but that's it. Juicy and Why you both find kills. Now putting Ash up against the ropes to try and recover here.
Oh, okay, Wolves. I feel like once they get that little bit of confidence, that ability to start getting that read into Gen G, they get so dangerous, but Ash trying to make something out of this. Sufat BB is just holding onto this corner, making him work for this one. 30 seconds. Oh! What? Even I'm turning around. I know he's out of his seat.
Show me that one. Just on the back of destroying the dart.
Jesus.
And that was what, maybe 2 or 3 bullets tapped through the box here?
Why does this make me a believer? I'm always such a cynic to this. But you're on board. It scares the life out of me because you're looking at Gen G, right, and we've been complimenting their scaling, their ability to trade in well here. But Wolves' problems. Oh my God. How do you not love this guy? He's top of the board as well for Wolves. He's not just the personality player. But Gen G want to get right back into it, looking aggressive, right up the guts, right up middle. But the paranoia is perfect, and Texture gets really put under test, but no, he's fine. Still wants more, still exploring further. Texture right amongst the Wolves now, trying to separate, divide and conquer as they lean towards B. The rotation gets difficult.
Foxy9 unable to really confirm anybody's location here.
Oh, Texture! It's gorgeous from him, though. Denying rotations. Oh, it's perfect from Texture. Absolutely outstanding play.
Just like that, a pace change
The
completely.
4K, the 4K
Yeah.
king, Mike. Who cares about the ace? Just keep doing that.
Haymaker thrown from Gen G in round 10. Able to convert as well. Foxy9 did actually find somebody, the ultimate just off screen.
I love this. We've got such great personalities here. Texture giving it right back. Fat BB doing so well on the other side, but it's broken the money in such a curious way. Look at this. We've got the operator
Yeah,
out,
we've got like a sheriff out and an operator.
But the pace though, again, Texture just keeps going. He wants to keep this kind of hand on the throat almost, right? Choke him out at this point if he can, but ult's gonna get burnt. Lysor is revealed. That's not the first time, but they don't know about Spring until now. Great counter swing from Lysor, bailing them out, keeping them alive. It's perfect synergy. Ash tries to do what he can. He's down to one man, and it's happening. Spring bounding in.
Just when Gen G feel like they could build upon that pace change, Wolves dig their heels in. With this headshot angle not suiting Gen G whatsoever.
But I feel like the Wolves, you think you might have got a beat maybe on towards Lysor, right? Maybe we can isolate him, punish him. No,
Nope.
they fight together. It's so sick.
And where map 1 looked a little disjointed at times for Wolves, now you're seeing players throwing their lives on the line to maintain these sight holds. Again though, Gen G. Quick pace here to kick things off. Karen 6 at TP on the site.
Oh my God, Karen, you madman! Takes away Spring and he gets him the sight. Does Juicy just take a shot on a timing? Surely not. They're trying to play retake with the operator. It's already a strength for Gen G in these moments. Bullet rattles through, doesn't find a thing.
Sound sensor up.
How are you meant to play back in? Look at that litter of utility.
Foxy9's, yeah, the utility just reduces so many options for Wolves on the way back in. Juicy looking for something, but it's a solo effort.
Gen G really having to grip hold of this one. Close, but not close enough. I mean, this is again the strength here. Gen G, a stark reminder, you don't let us get to those post plants, keeping a firm lead at 8-4.
Yeah, a little difference here from map 1, but still certainly gas left in the tank here for Wolves. We'll see how that pans out in the second half.
You might have heard him going through.
Required on map 2. The Wolves, man, they've already shown us unbreakable mental. You see Juicy being probably the prime candidate in that regard. They can make a go of things once more.
So let's see how Wolves approach this. Again, we're somewhat in the dark here ourselves, not a map that we've seen them often go towards. Gen G on the other side, opting for the 3-play start towards the A side. Foxy9.
I was going to say, just him here, but on the pistol round, he's able to basically control a choke point like this on the back of his utility. A trade-off for damage, actually. Heard a headshot come through there.
No one else coming over just yet either. Quite a long rotation, so I think he needs to play safety here, Mike. Slip back towards CT.
I was going to say, with as many people chipping away at the util, you almost want to see an extra body, but Gen G will...
Revealing area.
Got the I's, crossed the T's elsewhere on the map, looking for maybe a lurk behind this.
Still got that Cypher util in place, so they've got some security towards B main, but that will be threatened soon. The Sheriffs are on the way, but YU finds Foxy9, catching him sleeping towards CT. Oh, what a shot! Sensational from YU! And now, all the pressure from the choke point. All eyes can turn towards this. Yes, the paranoia goes in, does very well. Great connection, Spring better. Wolves clawing back into this game, leaving just Ash locked behind that smoke.
Now almost looking like fools, really. See you, Fat BB, to seal the deal here on a 5th for Wolves and a pistol round to kick off the second half. Beautiful setup here, and Wolves absolutely making the right decision to dig a little deeper and continue exploring.
One enemy.
Like I said, with a lack of contact on the back of
Death is cold.
Foxy9 showing his hand. I think Wolves read the situation perfectly. It's going to be one Sheriff in the hands of Texture on the side of Gen G. Actually, Juicy really bringing the Sheriff to the party here for Wolves. The Guardian and 3 Bulldogs elsewhere. Foxy 9 to retrieve the orb. Denial here outside B. Nobody from Wolves quite yet revealing themselves.
Gen G going to be the ones to have to be almost reactive to this at this point. Taking a gamble. I like the deeper search from Texture there. It's a little bit of a look. Could free up some of the players potentially, but hard to have faith in this still. Looks very similar to the first. Again, have to be very aware of Foxy 9 and that utility. And this is when you're going to be looking to invest. Here it is. Lovely work, but forced off the angle here. So they're going to get the cross towards the side. They're looking for a punish on this, and they're not getting is what they wanted. Wolves managed to stave it off long enough. Munchkin does well with the trade, but still, look at the weaponry here. But Gen G, Ash doesn't care. 2 headshots are 2 headshots. Gives them back away into this round.
I almost want to see if Wolves can actually try and isolate Munchkin and get away from this side, but Lightsaw, double dipping.
It was so risky to go for that, and Gen G doing so well in that MasterCard Thrifty there. I can't believe they got away with that. The desperation to close down on back of Pillar felt too much.
So precarious on the way in here, but I mean, Munchkin finding one on the reveal. Ash swinging through the smoke, finding 2. The paranoia certainly landing here, paying dividends for Gen G. Like you said, converting this MasterCard Thrifty.
Guys, wait!
Yeah.
You can't allow Gen G those opportunities. They are a team that will take them every day of the week.
And they will always continue to kind of toy with the rhythm.
Only 1 round dropped, but it was enough for that timeout to come in there for Wolves.
I think almost maybe a, not necessarily a panic button, but frustration.
Oh, you heard it, right?
Yeah.
Now to do it back to Gen G would be nothing short of a miracle at this point. A good stabilizing purchase here for Gen G. Don't need to do anything too out of their normal wheelhouse here. Let's see what Wolves get up to.
Space conceded, but Gen G very aware of the fact, which is why we're seeing commitment towards holding this, maybe mitigating some of this risk, but it's even here with the trip. Actually, it's a perfect setup for Gen G, but a 2-for-2 trade for Wolves. A big win out.
Yeah.
Weapon upgrades as well.
Plant's going to be in play here. Paranoia early, but it knows now that they've got some time to set up into this post plant. The final 3 players coming back in for Gen G. Texture, Ash, Caron. Still got that dart there here for Ash. Back cycled back up. Good util for Texture too. On the other side, limited amount. CUFAT, yes, only has that drone. That's about it for now. Smoke in towards CT. The time's starting to tick. Texture closing in slightly. Smoke goes in towards main. Pressure starting to mount here. And Texture, oh, he gets given a gift there. Spring with a trade, but a 1v2 now called upon. CUFAT only has the classic. Oh my God. Wait, this is doable. This is so doable. Ash.
Ash is taking it. He's got a half.
But he's got the drone. CUFAT,
Oh my God.
do this. The Dreamers stay alive and somehow do the unthinkable.
A Red Bull clutch response here from Wolves. Absolute magic. And Gen G was set up for this, Lauren. They gave them this space.
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
The dart stuck to him.
Oh my
Take
God.
flight.
That is just ridiculous.
I've never seen this happen. These moments are rare for a reason, but there is something in the water with this team. Wolves never down, never out. And Gen G sent back to basics. Look at the buy they're left to work with. Still in the lead at 9-6. But Wolves fight tooth and nail to get back in this game.
That rock-solid mental starting to rear its head once again. Still 3 to find to tie things up here on Sunset. A chance here with just a Guardian on the board. 3 Sheriffs actually. Can they follow through?
Take flight.
Munchkin up close and personal here for the Guardian. Rather snakebite pretty early on. We'll spot a second player as well. Big information. Big damage as well onto Munchkin.
God, Munchkin's lucky to be breathing. Forced away, has to respect it. Foxy9 going to take a touch of damage there
And as
too.
Fade said, just wait. Wait this out now. And it feels like a big win in terms of the trade-off here and the tools drawn out from Gen G's arsenal.
This is still dangerous though. A lot of players on this side for Gen G. Yeah, maybe one's down a
30
little low,
seconds
but that's bodies. Spring starts to clear house though, takes away Munchkin. Looking for the follow-ups, they get it. Wolves, step by step. You can see the adjustment, Mike. You noted it. It's a wild spray. Brave for it, for the Prez are answered. Plants down next. Yes, Ash gets one back, but it's still a 4v2. Where's Texture in all this? He's got to get over here. He's got to do something.
remaining.
But Ash has fallen.
Nice
It's all
try.
on Texture, the 4K king.
Gotta go.
Has to keep that crown on his head here if he wants this one. Spring down low, but 3 players up against him. The timer ticking away,
Shock it.
trying to make something of this, make miracles happen, and they're not today for him. Super BB once again, the closer in this. Mike, that tempo change there was tangible, right? That pause, that slow, that wait,
30
that
seconds
next layer to this. I feel like Wolves have got a bit of a finger on the pulse now.
Absolutely. Absolutely dialed into the rhythm of Sunset now.
One enemy remain.
Edging closer and closer to tying things up.
No one is.
Huge purchase here now coming in for Gen G.
Yeah, I'm looking at an operator here and caused a lot of problems in the first half, but we did see Texture dealt with a few times. Able to mitigate that. But almost now resorts to Wolves maybe a change of disciplines in the early round.
It looks like they want to avoid this. They don't fancy it, right? They get that little bit of a reveal, noting its texture on the side. I don't think they even know it's the operator.
I was going to say, did they spot? Certainly, we did see him very active on split in terms of repositioning, but
Oh yeah.
here on the minimap, almost played out of this if Wolves decide to follow through here.
Munchkin once again on the run here. Good counter paranoia, but a quick TP, and actually really considering it, but it's all a ruse, all a distraction as Foxy9's fallen. And now they're desperate. Munchkin gonna go down. Wolves methodically taken towards the site here, but look at where the spike is, still yet to go through. Nice pacing on this again. This discipline, Mike, it's once again in effect this slowdown.
Karen took a ton of damage there as well. He's isolated on backside now.
He could be screwed, 38 HP, he's got pressure left and right. Ash tries to help him, but there's no saving him. The sinking ship carries on falling. Wolves back in business again.
Absolutely ridiculous. Clawing their way back once more, just one round.
Oh, that's
Why
lovely.
over the top of the wall? Yeah, unfortunately, Gen G now, the ones left in recovery mode in a number of these rounds. God, Fade.
He's going through it, man. He's going through it.
Somebody get medical down to the coaching booth. For
mean,
Gen G,
you
no surprise there.
You can't say he's not trying, Mike.
He's had a phenomenal map too.
How
Had a
much
great
can
map
one man
one as
do?
well.
He's 21-11, desperately trying to do what they have to, but this buy,
I must wait a moment.
It's only a Bulldog standing in the way of Wolves tying things
Toxins
up.
going up.
This time we'll tuck a player into mid. Munchkin tasked now with maybe starting to control this chaos that Wolves been able to tap into. Contact found, but
here comes the final boss, Texture. Oh my
Oh,
god,
my-
oh my god, and then right target choice! Ignores Texture, goes for the back line, reward is there! Wolves making me a believer in this. Looking like 9-9 is about to be carved in that scoreboard as Foxy9 has 4 players to take down.
able to recover that Bulldog, but like you said, 4 to find. And again, no pressure coming through from spawn here is going to allow Wolves to set up very comfortably. A consolation maybe, but as soon as he deals with this trip.
All eyes.
Throwing net.
Gonna make a go of it, but Spring off angle perfect, and we are at a tied map. 2. And a reminder if you tuned in, a reminder if you're doubting what you're seeing, Wolves won map 1. Now Genji are under pressure.
Fire in the hole!
This is just almost the worst possible scenario for Genji. When they try and get some bodies behind Texture with the ultimate, try and set him in motion. A fumble with a showstopper on the first half, but a double kill here.
That operator again, though, they were good at sniffing this one out before, right? Do they find it this time? Different approach, a deeper B exploration from Texture. Goes for that deep line here, but then 3 players towards A. Almost using him as that counterweight, right? And look how far he's willing to look onto this. The Wolves, relentless in the hunt here, pursuing the others in a quick evacuation, trying to back away here, but Foxy9 might get his man now. It's the space back here, but looking like he's running out of time, gonna send it. No, doesn't get it.
Yeah, panic stations almost for Wolves there, as they could be caught in this trap. Utility behind this now, so still obstacles. Wolves to overcome. Still, well, call it 3 towards this side hole with Texture a deep position elsewhere. Should expect Ash to maybe come ahead of this now. Paranoia will land. Actually buys Wolves some space as well.
That's 2 players now noted. They've got a good idea of this, and Juicy already so close towards it. The pressure coming in, and Foxy9 looking a little screwed here. He can't hold the whole site by himself. The floodgates open, and the plant comes in. Once again, avoiding Texture and that operator. Munchkin and Ash tasked with a near-on impossible retake.
Absolutely are, especially with a judge and an operator here. In the loadout, but Ash will find the first. You've got to ask for more from him, though.
Yeah, needs another on that one. Not going to get in. Look at the position from Sufat BB. Keeps his head down, and then he strikes. Taken away by Munchkin, but to find the last 2 nearly is impossible. Deep breaths here, Genji. That scoreline is no longer yours. Wolves pushing up to 10.
Can't quite believe my eyes in some of these rounds. Such fine margins. But Wolves actually almost on the hunt here. Munchkin did actually manage to nab the operator on the way out. Sticky fingers on the retreat. But absolutely rocked in terms of the finances once more. You can see here as well, Foxy9 again, maybe you can see he's desperately trying to slow things down. Wolves are actually ahead of that utility.
And you can imagine how frustrating this must be for Texture too. Almost iced out of the game, right?
Oh yeah,
sitting at 22 kills and he feels iced out.
He feels irrelevant in terms of the scoreline almost.
And that's got to be so hard for him. This is now, what, 5 rounds back-to-back for Wolves, compounding the problem, but this time Texture is here. Can he be the hero for Genji, the man they need? But they've also got a plan in mind. Gonna keep himself standing. The shot doesn't land this time, but he still stands his ground. He wants value. He has to eventually respect it. Juicy gonna carve the way in. Oh my God, Juicy!
Thank God for that cage.
Bloody hell, that was on a knife's edge.
Now he's almost separated here. Can kind of keep Genji interested.
He's selling him just down the river. Oh, and a lazy clear.
They got a second!
So well! Juicy, you should not be doing this. You're meant to be the bait. But they're coming back. But Texture still stands. He's still on the site. Doesn't fall for it. Texture, calm under pressure. Has to find a moment here, but the smoke gonna deny vision. Looks for a second line. Doing the dance now. Wolves thinking maybe they got some safety. 2 players close by. The dart not going to do what they want, really. Texture takes another step closer. Finds a man, drops him. Juicy down, needs more. Got to find more value. Got to keep being the man to make the difference. Finds a second follow-up here. Banking on his teammates to bail him out. He's doing the dance. Brilliant from Texture. Still more needed, and you won't believe what we're seeing on the flank here. The heroes are both sides, but a bounding YU puts it all down to Karen. And the eventuality of Sufat BB getting here is the ace up the sleeve. He should be the final player. Lysol the one to do it, as Wolves again taking steps.
Leaps and bounds, Lauren, towards closing out map 2. And closing out a 2-0 series here. Juicy I mean, the hero behind enemy lines
Yeah.
in this round, ahead of the utility. And see, the considerations there from Gen G. Almost just doubting.
Stark contrast here between the two cams. Gen G
Itself. The Wolves able to navigate their way into this position now, and on the brink of a huge victory here.
to get 12 is truly something that will be forever in my mind. Gen G stop. You can see that. There's been too many times recently. Too many times. Gen G, this is your chance to stop it. Stop their fairy tale from coming true, but the plant's in play. They've not gone for that same fight here, Mike. It's different this time. Karen up in that 10 spot, doing well to take down Juicy.
Oh!
The disrespect! Spring doesn't care! Flies in, takes him down, and we're in a 3v2. Foxy9 gives away position as well. Spring's got him dead. Texture called upon to be the man again, and Lysol! Rinse and repeat! It's 12! It's not map point, it's match point!
Absolute. Just styling on Gen G now. You see toying with the expectations, getting a little unorthodox, disrespecting these site holds that time and time again look fantastic for Gen G. Wolves, the disruptors here on Sunset.
It comes down to this, Gen G suffering through this as Wolves coming alive on the stage. Taking space now. Texture, right place. Two players, Spring on the other side, shoulder shown, Texture. Under pressure down to 61, but he doesn't stick around too long.
Yeah, coming out way worse off in that trade as well. Now, Wolves able to reassess the situation. A pace change in the opposite direction now, slowing things down, making Gen G sweat a little, which not many teams have the opportunity to do as they play through this cage.
It's all on this, and YU takes away Texture. Down to 4 now. Gen G suffering in numbers. Foxy9 trying to hold, secure this site. We saw the pressure he was under before. Doesn't want to fall foul to it. A quick dive in as well from Munchkin, trying to secure this site with that pit. Look at the passing though, Mike. They're off. And Juicy looking to swing this smoke. Pop flash in. We know Ash is on the other side. YU takes down Munchkin, drop the pit. Back we go. YU's doing wonders here.
20 seconds left, they have to make a move.
Paranoia is
down.
good. He flies in. YU has done miracles for this squad, leaving it down to a 3v2. Ash and Caron trying to dig deep, tag, but the plant's in. A sacrifice given down to the 2v2. And they're playing together,
Right here.
Siufat BB on the verge of the truly unthinkable. Ash has to ace to save Gen G here. The pressure mounting. He's seen him, I think he's seen him, I think he knows, but only 7 bullets. Siufat BB barely breathing. They're both so low.
He's down
6
himself.
HP, 5 bullets, that's it. Time ticking. Ash has to find this. Bam!